Pp0L my soldiers, what is going on, guys? So welcome to the partner getting portion of 100 days to 100K. I'm stoked. Today's a great day. You guys are gonna love this. I know a lot of you out there see getting a partner as a hurdle. This portion of 100 days to 100K is designed to get you through those hurdles. Listen, one thing, it's way easier than you think it is to get partners. It's literally like holding, as I always say, the golden ticket. Everybody wants the golden ticket. And what is a golden ticket? The golden ticket is a lead. It's literally money. Highly qualified leads turn into dollar bills for your partners, but it all starts with getting a partner. So having that mentality will get you through these hurdles. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is talk about that. We're gonna talk about mentality, what it takes to be successful here in your partner getting efforts. Also, we wanna talk a little bit about some of the strategies, right? So how we're gonna do it. Then what we're gonna move on to is me actually doing it. So I'm going in cold. You guys are gonna hear me succeed. You're gonna hear me maybe biff a few sales calls too. I haven't made a lot of sales calls or any partner getting calls in a while. So I'm gonna take you along the journey. I'm not gonna edit. I'm not going to refrain. I'm going to be very transparent. I'm gonna give you everything, good, bad, the ugly. But you know what? I don't expect to fail. I expect to succeed. And that's part of what we'll move into here in the next video is the mindset, right? How to get right and get ready to close partners. Because guys, this is fun stuff. I enjoy it. And I know a lot of you guys, hopefully this will break down some of those walls, some of those barriers, and make it easier for you to jump that hurdle, start closing your own partners, and start making money. Guys, it's really closer than you think. And in the next video, we'll talk about the mentality that'll get you there. Okay, so get excited. I'm stoked. I don't know if you guys could tell. And we're gonna jump right into video 2. See you there. Okay, soldiers, welcome back. This is video 2 in the partner getting series in 100 days to 100K. Thanks for coming back. We're going to talk about the mentality that it takes to be successful to close partners and develop the real long-term partnerships that, I've done, that Darren has done, that, hundreds of us have done, that have turned our pay-per-lead businesses into truly passive income producing businesses. But it all starts with a partnership, right? And before that, it starts with the right mentality. So you've got to be in a good mind frame in order to close partners. You've got to have the right energy. You've got to have the right, emotions. You've got to really be ready and in the right mind frame to get this done and to get it done for a long-term basis. So how does it start? For me, being successful in anything starts with a good night's rest. I mean, it sounds basic, but a lot of us just don't do it. I know a lot of us are up late or going out or just, not sleeping well. And there's a lot that we can go into there, but I'm going to save it for later. Try to get a good night's rest. Go to bed at a decent hour. Okay, close down the blinds. The darker it is, the better you sleep. Turn off all the electronics, and just sleep well. The difference between having a terrible night's rest and a great night's rest and the effect it has on your mindset is just astronomical. It's huge. So my first piece of advice on being in the right mind frame is get a good night's sleep. It seems so easy, but a lot of us don't do it, okay? Second piece of advice in having the right mindset is get into a great morning routine. Now I have, and I'll give it to you, this fantastic morning ritual. I call it my success ritual. So the first thing I do is I get up and I drink a nice cold glass of water. And that just really puts me into a place where I'm rehydrating and feeling good, and it becomes a ritual. From there, I have an entire ritual. If you guys have any questions on that, we can get into it a bit later. But having a good morning success ritual, it sets the tone for your entire day. I mean, if you wake up groggy, wiping your eyes, going, shit, I don't want to get to work today. That's how you're going to go into your day. That'll extend out to your week and then your months. And that's how a rut starts. That's how it gets going. So you want to avoid that. Now, conversely, if every day you're getting up consistently into your success ritual and you're moving that ball forward, you create momentum. And here's the thing about momentum, right? It can go forwards or it can go backwards. So you want to create positive forward momentum by having the same routine, getting to bed on a good time, getting a good night's rest, and then having that success ritual every morning will create this great momentum. And here's how it relates to partner getting. It changes your energy. It changes the tone in your voice. And you guys have heard me a lot. The tone of my voice is high. I always have good energy. And that's not just for you. That's how I operate. Of course I get tired. Of course I get sleepy. Of course, things happen, but it's easier and you build up the energy and the endurance over time, but that all has to start somewhere. So you've got to get into routines and be consistent, because consistency is the key. Now let's move that forward. That's really the start of being in a good mentality and getting the right mindset. Let's move that forward a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about how this actually relates to getting partners, right? So one, your energy is going to be good. You're going to have a nice tone in your voice. Two, you have to go into this knowing that as you discuss, because I want you guys getting on the phone. Now, we can close partners, and we're going to close partners without ever getting on the phone. It can be done via email, but I still think that energy and tone translates through email or digital mediums. So you still want to have that right energy and that right mentality. However, let's talk about the mentality when you are on the phone with a potential partner, a prospect, right? Two things you want to keep in mind. One, this is somebody you're looking to establish a long-term relationship with, right? This is somebody that you want to be in your life and a part of your business for a long time. So keep that in mind, right? When you know you're trying to establish a long-term relationship, like you just fell in love with somebody, but they don't know you fell in love with them yet, right? How would you treat that person? What would you do with them? Would you wine and dine them? Would you take your time? Would you project the energy that you want to be a part of their life? Well, that's what I want you to do here. I want you to project that energy, right, to your potential partners. You want to be a part of their life and an integral part of their success for a very, very long time. So keep that in mind, okay? Keep it in mind. Part two of what you want to keep in mind here is that you have something that they not only want, but they need. You're the gatekeeper. They're not the gatekeeper. Okay, so the whole mentality, and this is, I have to say, the one thing that has been truly responsible for, I would say, 95% of my success in sales, in business, in life, is this one tidbit I'm about to share with you, that you always are in control. You always have the momentum on your side, okay? So a lot of the time, when people are getting on the phone with potential partners, I've seen this time and time again with soldiers in the Army, students I've trained, salespeople I've trained, in another life. They're always begging. They smell desperate. Nothing will kill a sale or kill a partnership more than being desperate. So the way to avoid that, the way to change that, is by changing the energy, changing the momentum. Remember, because you have something that they want and need, they have to qualify themselves to you, right? I once heard a quote that the definition of confidence is not wondering what the other person thinks of you, but wondering what you think of them. Right? So that's the definition of confidence. So remember, the energy has to be on your side. The momentum has to be on your side. The potential partner, the prospect, has to qualify themselves to you, not the other way around. Right? Now, don't take that too far. Right? You can come off cocky or arrogant, and you don't want to do that. Right? It has to be that nice balance. But remember, they always have to qualify themselves to you. And you'll hear this in my calls. You'll hear the way that I present that. We'll ask questions that change the energy. And by the end of our calls, we'll have prospects begging us to be our partners because we ask questions like, well, I've got to ask you a few qualifying questions before I can start sending you these leads. Do you have the insurance? How long have you been in business? When you start, strategically asking questions like that, really interesting things happen. And the momentum and the energy of the entire potential prospect, partner prospect call changes. It comes to you. Okay, another thing I want to talk to you guys about is momentum. Okay, so remember your momentum, we mentioned it earlier, now we're going to talk about it again. As you start to get yeses and build partnerships, right? You don't want to stop and rest on your laurels there. You want to keep moving that momentum in the right direction, because think of it like a ball on the top of a mountain, right? It's going to roll one way forward into a positive momentum or backwards into negative momentum. Momentum is always moving. It's always in flux, right? It's kinetic. It's got a lot of energy and it won't stop. So you need to keep that in mind. I think it's one of the most important things in business and life and sales and partner closing is to keep the momentum moving in the right direction. So when you start to get the yeses, right? It's time to don't rest. Keep moving forward. Keep calling. Keep that momentum up, and it'll just snowball. It'll get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's what we're looking for. Okay. Conversely, if you start to get no's, that's okay. That's okay. Right? Sometimes if you go on a run where you just don't feel like you have it, or you just feel like you're stifled or frustrated, that's okay. It's totally fine. It'll happen. What you want to do is you want to shake it off, okay? Go for a few more phone calls. Try to get that yes. Try to turn that momentum around. Now, if it doesn't happen, totally fine. Just get out of the atmosphere. Get out of the environment. Go for a walk. Go for a run. Take the dog out. Go eat something. Drink a glass of water. Listen to some good music to put yourself in a different mind frame. Music has a huge effect on your energy and your mindset. I always like to get pumped up. That's part of my morning ritual. I listen to some good music. I start with classical a lot of times, and then I move into some house or some progressive house, or just something to pump you up. Rock and roll always works pretty well. So just get out of the mind frame. If you get into some negative momentum and you're getting no's, or just you're not feeling it, right? Get out of there. Just do something. Come back fresh. Start again. It's kind of like the Etch-a-Sketch shake. You're shaking your Etch-a-Sketch and you're resetting so you can start again. Okay, so those are kind of some of the things I like to talk about when it comes to momentum. Also, I like to keep my environment very clean, very organized. I'm sure I've shown you guys a tour of my office, my home office before. Everything is nicely laid out. I've got my plan in front of me, and that's another part of having the right mentality, and that's what we'll move into here in the next video, is having a plan, having a list, having an organized environment. All of that will contribute to your confidence, to having the momentum in business, as well as the partner getting conversation, and that'll all contribute to a successful call and closing a partner and creating a relationship for a long time, guys. Because at the end of the day, paper lead is incredibly profitable and it's incredibly passive, but you've got to do the work up front. If you don't do the work, you'll never get there. So guys, hopefully this opens your eyes. If you have any questions, please let me know. I think mindset is, if not one of the most important things, it's everything. So make sure you pay attention and rewatch this video a few more times. And if you've got your own mindset tips and tricks, we love hearing them. Post them up in the community. All right, guys, I'll see you in video 3. Thanks. All right, soldiers, welcome to video 3 in the partner getting portion of our 100 days to 100K journey. This is the game plan. This is where we're going to establish what we're going to do in terms of reaching out to partners and then establishing those long-term partnerships. There's a lot that can go into this. And I find that the more preparation you do here, the more success you'll have on the long end. But I'm not going to go into it for you right now because it's all inside of PPL Empire. So go to week 2, okay? And you'll see in the establishing partnership section, we've got everything in there from the overview to the game plan, which has a downloadable Excel spreadsheet where you can create your lists, guys. Creating a big list instills a lot of confidence when you're about to get on the phone, because if somebody says no, you know that you've got 50 other potential partners out there to talk to. So the list instills confidence. That kind of goes back to video 2 here, which is the mindset. So make sure that you create a big list. That also instills a lot of confidence. Go and check that out inside of PPL Empire. Again, week 2. Okay, and that's in the game plan. Then in PPL Empire as well, we'll talk about worming the list. You can watch that. That's the email outreach. We give you email templates and scripts. You can pick those up there, as well as getting past the gatekeeper. You've got the approach, right? Which you've got sales scripts inside of the approach that I've written a bunch for you there. You can check them out, as well as closing the deal, and of course then establishing the long-term partnerships and scale. So that's all inside of PPL Empire, which is why I don't need to kind of repeat myself here in this video. However, and this is the fun part, I'm not going to use any of it, right? I'm going to go completely old school here, and I'm just going to jump on Google, send off a few emails, and start making calls to show you guys how easy this can be. Now, if you do use some of the more advanced tactics inside of PPL Empire, again, week 2, establishing partnerships, if you do use some of those advanced tactics, you'll see that this gives you a huge advantage, a massive advantage when you're going into closing your partners. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go direct. I'm going to go old school, and I'm going to show you guys without any strategic advantage or advanced strategies. I'm just going to go right at it and show you that you really don't need all that. It does help if you're maybe a little bit more nervous, or you feel that you're not great with jumping on the phone and talking to people or doing the outreach to close the partners. Then go back. That will all help you, but you don't have to use it. And I'm going to show you this in the upcoming sales calls, right? So I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to make some cold calls. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to get turned down maybe. I'm going to close a lot of them. We're going to send off those credit card acceptance forms, and we're going to start getting paid. It's as easy as this, guys. So don't overthink it. Don't waste too much time. Just start getting on the line and getting these partnerships closed. So I'll see you on the phone calls. I'm going to record them right here on Skype so everybody can hear me unedited, just doing what I do. All right, guys. See you on the inside. Okay, soldiers, welcome to video 4 in our partner getting series of the 100 days to 100K. So this one is where we're really going to get into some of the nitty gritty, right? So this is where we're going to figure out who and where we're going to target. So in this series, we've already discussed our targets, and what we want to do is search on Google for plastic surgeon in Phoenix. So that's the first step here in what we're going to do. And by the way, guys, this is an incognito window. So that will hide from Google quite a few things, and it'll allow you to get the natural search results for that area. So you want to do that so you can see a couple of things, right? And you can track and record a couple of things while we're building our list of prospects and potential partners to reach out to. So the first thing you want to do after you Google your main key term, now we've already been through the keyword research with Darren, so we want to go ahead and find that main key term, and then just plug it into a Google search. And the first thing we want to do is find the ads, right? So we're looking for the ads, and of course they're the little green. Who knows what color they'll be by the time you watch this video. They seem to change daily, but you're looking for AdWords advertisers, right? So these are the AdWords advertisers at the top and the bottom. And by the way, guys, they do change from page to page, so keep that in mind. Now, what you want to do is you want to open your partner prospecting Excel sheet, and that, of course, is in the PPL Empire. You know what? We'll just attach it here to this video too, and it looks something like this. First thing, you want to name it and save it as your main key term, Plastic Surgeon Phoenix. And it's real simple, guys. Partner business, you just want to put the name of the business. But look here at the bottom. We've got different tabs. Tabs for AdWords advertisers. We've got an Info USA tab if you want to go that route. Google organic results, of course. Paid leads if you're paying to build partner leads. And then we want to put a tab for the confirmed partners after we close them, okay? So we're going to start with the AdWords advertisers and go through. And that, the reason we target them first is because we already know they're paying for their leads. And a lot of the time, these leads, the ones that close will cost them, double, triple of the leads that we send them. Ultimately, at the very end, after you do all the calculations, their cost per lead, right, their CPL is double or triple what they would be paying to us. And that's important to remember, right? Because they're not experts in conversion rate. They're not experts in targeting. They're not experts in anything online marketing. What they are experts in is being a plastic surgeon and running a plastic surgery office. And that applies to HVAC, which we're also targeting, as well as any other vertical that you guys are in currently. Nobody is likely as good as you are now or are going to be in driving leads and becoming a lead generation expert, right? So they wind up paying double, triple, sometimes quadruple for a closed deal, whereas they would pay us half. Important to note. So let's come through and let's grab all of these paid advertisers first, and you want to put them down here at the bottom in the tab AdWords, advertisers. You just want to list them out. And you know what? I don't go crazy on this, guys. I'll typically go for about 2, 3, 4 pages until I expire most of the AdWords advertisers. This also, by the way, you could say Bing and Yahoo here as well, because you know that they're paying per lead as well. So those are your first targets. That's the low-hanging fruit, if that makes sense. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to come through and grab the organics. You can go to the maps. It's totally fine. I typically go to, page 1 and page 2 and page 3, and grab about 30, 40. You can go as far as you want, really, depending on your demographic. I know for a fact that Phoenix has a lot of plastic surgeons. I used to live there. But you want to come down to the organic results tab here in your prospecting sheet and just list them here. You like to put the name of the business, the phone number, of course, the email associated, and the URL of the domain itself. So let's start there. I'm going to go through and do it for plastic surgeon in Phoenix. Pardon me. I'm also going to go through plastic surgeon in Atlanta. Okay, since that's another one of our demographics that we're targeting, I'm going to start with the AdWords campaigns and then grab the organics. And I'm going to do the same for Boston, okay? And I'm going to grab, of course, the AdWords campaigns and then go through again and repeat the organics. Now, again, just remember, guys, open this in an incognito window so you get the natural results and you'll see more of the advertising that way. Go through, save each one of these under a different file, like I said, the main key term. And as soon as I do that, we'll come back and, in the next video, what we'll do is we'll start to do the outreach. So this is the getting set up, building the list. And remember, guys, the list builds confidence. The bigger your list, the more confidence you have. So build it as big as you can, and we'll come back in the next video and start doing some of the outreach. All right, thanks, guys. Okay, soldiers, welcome back. This is video 5 in our 100 days to 100K journey. This is the partner getting portion. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and filled out my forms that I talked to you about, I should say my sheets, my Excel spreadsheets from the last video. Now, I've brought this all into Google Drive. I find Google Drive a lot easier to work with, but you'll see down here on the bottom, we've got different tabs as I went over in the last video. So I went in and filled out a few AdWords advertisers. I didn't go crazy there for the sake of the video. You could, of course, pull from Info USA if you'd like. That'll give you a giant list, just depending on your budget. I pulled in a few more organic results, and if you were doing any paid advertising for partners, that's where you throw your paid leads here. And any other way you're getting partner leads too, there's a lot of ways to get it. This is just some of the top ways to grab those leads. Also, just as a tip here and to keep things organized, I like to go up to that first row, come on over to View, and you can do this in Excel as well. I'm in Google Sheets, but you can do this in Excel, and you freeze that row. Okay, and that way everything stays nice and tidy, and you know where you are at all times. Organization is the name of the game when you're in the partner getting business, as we are. So I like to make sure I come up again to this first row, or I'm sorry, yeah, it's a row. Okay, and then freeze it. There you go. Boom. And now it's frozen. Okay, so let's say we move on. Yes, here's the next part. I'm sure you've seen to the right side of my screen. This is a template. This will be uploaded to this video. You could download it probably right below this video. And it's a very, very simple template. All you need to do is go through and replace the X's. Okay, and obviously you want to, there'll be an X there for you too. But for your sake, you want to go through and put your name in there. Hello, my name is Brian. And this is where you want to put your website or the name of your company. Now, hopefully you've chosen or purchased a website that is associated somehow with your vertical. So this is Brian with HVACspecialists.com or Brian with HVAC leads or whatever you want to do there. Just make sure that it's within the vertical. The reason you do that is so that you're considered a peer as you do your outreach. You don't want to be considered a salesperson. You don't want to be considered a customer, right? You want to be considered a peer, somebody that your potential partner can look eye to eye with. So that's the importance of lining up a domain that is associated with your vertical. Okay, so my name is Brian. I'm with, let's just for this conversation say HVAC specialists. And you can put .com or not, either way you want to go on that. So wondering if you'd be able to take some of our HVAC calls in XXX. Okay, so here is where you want to come on over and open up one of your partner websites, okay? And I'm going to go over to AdWords advertisers. Let's come over to this Atlanta because I actually already had this open. So for the organic results ST services, you'll see here, I'm going to open up their website. And by the way, guys, every website is different, so you're just going to have to take your time and go through a little bit. And you want to see what areas they service, right? So hover over here. Where do they service? Doesn't really show me. If I scroll down to the bottom a lot of times, you'll see it's Atlanta and Ackworth. So I'm going to put in Atlanta and Ackworth in the cities here. So Atlanta and Ackworth. So let's take that out. You don't have to go too crazy. But the more you put in there, the more targeted your partners will think. So if you had 5 different locations in there, you might want to put them into bullet points. Or you can just say, you can go short and sweet here like I have, Atlanta and Ackworth. We have too many calls coming in for, and this is your vertical, HVAC estimates. And our current partner in Atlanta, that's a city, right? Can't handle all of them. So we'll need to find a new HVAC, right, company to partner with. And send the extra customers to ... Would you be the right person to talk to about this? Thanks for your help. Best. And then you want to put your name in again. Okay. Brian B. It's me. And then, of course, your site. Okay. So is it HVAC specialists? Now, if you don't have your site completely done yet, that's okay. You know, we want you to get partners even before you start your site. Pretty much it's one of the first steps in general. So you can just put a non.com or a non-domain there, HVAC specialists. That would be good enough for me. So here's the trick. Now, this is an email that I will send out, and I'll show you how to do that in another video. But right now what we're doing is we're going for site form fills. So I'm going to look for a form on their website. Okay, so question, sales, service. As I said, every website is different. Doesn't look like there's a form here. So maybe I come up here to questions. Boom, there you go, right? Brian B, phone number 312, right? Email is, of course, going to be your email. Now, this is where having a domain is better, right? If it's set up, this will help you out a little bit. But if you don't, just go ahead and put your regular email there. That's fine. Doesn't have to be your domain. You could have just purchased your domain and set up some emails with your that domain as well. Doesn't have to be a live domain just yet. If you don't have any of that done, totally fine. Just go ahead and use any old email you got, right? And here's where you're going to go ahead and copy all of your copy. Right? Copy your copy, copy your email, and drop it right into the question box. And so that's what we like to call a site form fill. Okay, I don't know why that didn't fill out. It's weird. But go through, give it a once over, and make sure it looks good. Okay. And again, this didn't get filled out. Strange. That's why we're double checking, right? Okay, there you go. So you want to go ahead and send that off. And as soon as you do that, a couple dozen times, you'll start receiving some emails back. So keep an eye on your email. Do this over and over and over. Guys, I've seen lots and lots of soldiers close partners without a single phone call with this strategy. So, it's a numbers game. The more you send out, the more likely you are to have a positive response. Now, in the next video, what I'm going to do is talk to you about how we send emails. So we're also going to send an email. All right. So it never hurts to double up. Now, a lot of people have different opinions on this. I like to do them right away. I like to get them knocked out back to back. That way, I consider my partners will perceive that as being an urgent situation. You may, in the next email, want to say, hey, I went through your website. I just want to follow up with an email. That's what we'll do in the next video. Or you can stagger them, right? You could put them out, do this one day, and then the very next day follow up with an email and a phone call. But I like to do them back to back, and I'll show you why in the next video. So I'll see you there, guys. Thanks so much. Okay, guys, welcome back. And we are now at the point in our partner getting process where we're going to send out some emails. Now, typically, a lot of the soldiers out there, we all do it one by one, and that's a good way to do it. I like doing it that way. Typically, I find it does it with the templates that we give you and the outreach process that we're outlining here. It typically doesn't take that many emails to secure partners in each one of your verticals and each one of your demographics. That said, Again, it is a numbers game, guys. So if you want to get smart and send out an email or 2 or 3, we like to use email automation software that will do some pretty intense tracking to see if those emails were opened, when they were opened, and the best one, I think, for your money is Yesware. Now, Yesware is, of course, not a free tool. You can try it, but if you want to go out and take a look at this, this will do a lot for you. It'll tell you when your email was opened. If it was clicked, it'll tell you how long somebody read your email, how many times they've opened it, and a lot of other very cool information about the email that you sent. Also, you can load a ton of emails into a lot of these programs. If you grab them all from the websites that we've got listed here, here we go, the organic results. We've got some emails here that were on the websites. Especially if you go with an InfoUSA buy, this is a great idea, a nice compliment, because InfoUSA will give you all of the emails. And if you've got paid leads, likely you've also got the emails as well. You can upload them and then blast them out. It's pretty easy to do. Yesware is a fantastic solution. I've been playing a little bit lately with MailerLite. So in the community, we've had some buzz going about MailerLite. I haven't tried it extensively, but if you guys have, let me know. It looks like a really cool program as well. And I'll include this link on this video, guys. But this is a really good article on the top, Yesware-like. It's the top 6 email tracking apps or websites or software. So Contact Monkey, MailTrack, Mailtrackio. There's a lot of good ones in here, and they give you a lot of breakdown. But let's say you don't want to spend the money. You don't want to go through this process. It's easy enough to take the same the same copy here, the same email copy that I've got here, fill it out, accordingly, like we covered in the last video. And rather than going through each website and doing a form fill, what we call a site form fill, you go ahead and just send off an email one by one. Now, my advice here would be to try to register a domain, in the vertical that you're choosing. So if, let's say it's HVAC, and we'll use the same example. We want to be Brian at HVAC Specialists. And then send them off either through Yesware or MailerLite or whatever you choose, or just one by one. The idea here is to have relevancy and to appear as a peer, if that makes sense. So you want to look your prospect in the eye, and you want to, not be a salesperson and definitely not be a customer. You want to be their peer, because at the end of the day, you are. So let's start doing that. Let me know about your experience with Yesware. With MailerLite, remember, guys, it only takes one partner to start making money in this business. So you don't need thousands of partners. I know a few soldiers out there that have gone crazy with InfoUSA buys and some paid advertising. They put them all into Yesware, blasted them out, and had 137 partners in 2 weeks before they even drove a single lead. So don't overthink this. You can go straight at it. Just start sending emails off. Most Gmails or most email programs will allow you to do 50 or 100 emails a day. And if they don't, you just give them a call and ask them to increase that limit. So no need to pay, but if you want to take it to the next level, I highly recommend using Yesware or MailerLite or any of these other really cool tracking apps on this link. And I'll include all of that in this video. All right, guys, so we're going to move on to sales calls. We're going to get into it in the next couple of videos, so get ready. All right, see you there. Bye.
PPLArmy.com.
What's up, everybody? It is Darren Perky here from PPLArmy.com, and today is the day our girl Stephanie came through, and we have partners. We have a partner now for HVAC in Atlanta over a couple days of effort. Really simple to do, really easy, and she's going to do a little more training on the actual calls themselves, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of feedback on these and what's going on. So basically the process was she basically scraped some emails and then emailed out to people. She cleaned them a little bit, then emailed them out. People replied back to her, and then one actually called. Multiple people called, but this one called first, and so she worked with him. And then there's 2 calls here. The first initial call, and then there's a follow-up call to close. And that's it. Partner's done. So you guys can hear this. Stephanie's actually going to do some more training on the actual individual how to actually get the emails, how to write the emails, what she's using, and then also a little more on this side too, and then contacts and stuff. So first things first, the price per lead is a little bit lower than I would have expected for this, which is fine. Doesn't matter. It's a first time person. Doesn't matter, right? It's just you have a partner now. So now start working and start getting stuff done. So I'm gonna play the first video for the first call for you guys here. You should be able to hear it, and it's right now.
Hi, this is Stephanie.
Hey, Stephanie. I'm Hayden with Kenan Heating and Air. I've got an email here that was forwarded to me. It's actually somebody in the family that's with a different company. And it was basically about your lead services. I was going to kind of see what was going on. It seemed pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, definitely. And where did you say, or what company were you with?
Kenan Heating and Air?
Okay. And what was your name again? I missed it. I'm sorry.
Hayden? Hayden.
Oh, Hayden. Okay. How's your morning so far?
Pretty good. How's yours?
It's good. It's busy, but my boss just sent out all those emails, so it's always like a rush after that. So, but yeah. So I'm so glad you called me. We do the pay per lead kind of thing, but it's a little different. I'm sure you're aware of Home Advisor and how they rip people off and that kind of. We don't really like their business model, so we changed ours a little bit, and it's based on so we drive phone calls to your company for heating repair and heating installations, and then if the phone call is answered by your company, hopefully you have a good sales system set up, and you make a scheduled appointment for a repair or an installation estimate, that's the only time that you would pay for an incoming call lead. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah. So that's only if they follow through, pretty much. If we at least set up an appointment. How do you guys know if we set up an appointment? Like, do you guys have a online website portal kind of thing that we would use, or how does that work?
It's even simpler than that. All the phone calls are recorded, and so we just direct them to your company, whatever office phone number you have. And then as soon as it's picked up, there's a little message, this call will be recorded for quality assurance. And then we send you a report of all the phone call recordings every week. So you know, and then we can make sure that our records line up and make sure that, this one said it was an appointment, it turned into a scheduled appointment, and make sure that everything matches.
Okay, and then when a call actually follows through, how much goes to you guys? Just a percentage, or is it a dollar amount, or how does that work?
We just do a flat fee amount. So the repairs are less. They're $30 a repair lead or scheduled appointment, and then for an installation estimate, it's $60.
Okay. And is that monthly? We just have a record at the end of the month, or is that at the time schedule?
We do it biweekly. If we go out like a whole month, then it's a lot of stuff to reconcile. So we like to just keep track of it biweekly, and then at the end of the 2 weeks, we send you kind of a record of what we have, and then you say, yeah, that makes sense, or if there's any disputes, then we totally handle it. We're very fair to our partners, and make sure that everything matches up. Yeah.
Okay. Let me call my boss, I guess. I mean, I'd sign up for it right now. But let me talk to him and see, and then I'll let you know sometime later on today if we could, do some business. I mean, it sounds like a pretty good deal. Home Advisor and all these other ones, they always seem to be a pretty big scam. So I'll talk to him and see what he wants to do, and then, we'll go from there.
Okay, great. Is this your best number to reach you at?
Yeah, this is my cell. We actually have a different one for the company, but you can reach me at this one.
Okay, sounds good. And then, let's see, you had the email forwarded to you. Do you have a good email? I can send you more information if you want to send it to your boss.
Yeah, that'd be great. It'll be Hayden, Hayden, at Kenan, Kennon, hvac.com.
Wonderful. All right. Well, yeah, just get back to me and let me know what your boss thinks. If you have any more questions, just let me know. If you do want to move forward, there's no contract, but we do keep a credit card on file, and that credit card is never billed until you approve the invoice and everything's reconciled. So.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Bye.
Bye.
So pretty cool, right? Pretty good little deal there. So let's do the next one. Let's do the next one so you guys can hear. This is the follow-up call. I'm not sure when this was, but not sure if it's the next day or the same day, but here it is.
Hi, this is Stephanie.
Hey, Stephanie, it's Aiden with Ken Heating here.
Oh, hey, that was fast. How are you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just wanted to get to go ahead. So, yeah, I mean, I'd like to try it out, I guess.
Okay, cool. Yeah. What areas do you service? What's your perimeters?
We try to stick with Precise, Hall, and Buford. Let me see. I've got a list here.
Okay.
Oh, not Buford, Hall, Gwinnett, and Versailles, but let me see. I've got a whole list here.
Oh, no problem. How about, could you email that to me? It sounds like it's quite a few.
I can email the whole. Do you want zip codes or counties? Or?
Yeah, everything. If you have a whole list of that stuff, that'd be fantastic.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll send it over to you. Do you need anything else from us and before that? Or?
Nope, send that over, and then I'll send you the credit card authorization form, and it'll just say on there, we won't bill you until we agree on the invoice, and it'll be biweekly. And then it takes about 48 to 72 hours to get you set up in our system, and then we'll check and make sure the tracking phone numbers are working and do a test phone call. We'll get the office number that you want all the phone calls sent to. And then, yeah, it's good to go. It's pretty simple. Yeah.
Okay. And then I had one other question. A lot of times with lead services, somebody will call and, we'll give them our diagnosis fee or whatnot, and they'll schedule, and then not too long after they'll call back and cancel. Is that something we can just email you guys about and it'll be reconciled?
Yeah, I mean, we know that people do shop around quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys don't take a deposit for an appointment.
No, we at the time of service, we collect a diagnosis fee at the time of service. Quotes, they're always free, and most people don't cancel those.
Okay.
But just as far as repair calls, sometimes they'll call back and cancel.
Okay.
Which I don't have a problem with it as long as we go out there.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no, it's totally fine. We know that it happens. Go ahead and just let us know if that happens, and if it starts happening like 50% of the time or 60%, then maybe we'll start talking about different ways to start avoiding that. But
awesome.
We know it happens. We understand.
Yeah, awesome. Sweet. I'll send all that over to you, and I appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, thank you,
thank
Aiden. I look forward to working with you. Awesome.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
So listen, that's a partner, right? I mean, listen, is the price kind of low? Yeah, whatever. Is it, could the objective have happened with the different types of calls? Like, hey, listen, we charge no matter what. If someone schedules an appointment with you, that's our job, kind of thing. But listen, it's a partner. It's all that matters, right? And so now you get this one here, you start working with it and stuff like that. So just so you guys know, with that lead price per lead, we're not going to be able to do much with PPC or Facebook ads. I'm still going to run ads there. I'll just do a smaller budget. But just understand, we're going to do some things with that, and I'll start working with this exact one. And next week, or next video or two, you guys will see. We'll actually start building out sites for this, and then start pumping out different sites. Remember I told you before, I have one made site and then the installation site and all that stuff, all in the Atlanta area. So, yeah, really exciting. Thank you so much. Please, if you guys are in the group, please give a shout out to Stephanie for her hard work and dedication for that. Obviously, she jumped on the ball and took care of it. So really cool. All right, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Later.
Pp0L1Rmy.com.
Okay, so let's jump into finding a domain. So I use Bust-A-Name to help me with my domain research because I'm not very creative and it just does a lot of work for me. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Bust-A-Name. Super simple to use. Type in any words here and it starts looking for available domains with those word combinations. So I always try to make or find a domain that is really relevant to the vertical that I am prospecting. So of course we have HVAC in there because we prospected a bunch of HVAC companies. So I went ahead and tried to find something with HVAC or home services and anything that kind of describes what I do. So you can get some random name, you can do a branded name if you want, but I like to keep it really simple and like very obvious to these prospects that I am with homeserviceleads.com and I am going to be contacting you and I'm talking to you about, sending your company leads. So anyway, it's super simple. You can buy it directly from here, and I think if you click one of these links, like you get a discount at these places. So, all right. So get your domain set up, get some hosting, put it on HostGator, Bluehost, like any of the reliable cheap hosting accounts. They should have all the information available to you to help you set up your DNS, install WordPress, all that good stuff. So, okay, go get your domain. This is so important. You're also going to need to set up your email account in your new hosting account. So they also have directions on how to do that in your hosting account. And if you have any problems, HostGator, I like HostGator. They have great support. You can call them and ask them any questions that you might have. I also connect all of my emails, all of my agency emails to my Gmail account. So you can receive your business emails in your Gmail account and then also respond in your Gmail account. So it provides one central area to start to check your emails, to see the responses, and to reply to them. It just makes it easier. Otherwise, you're going to have to log into your hosting account, then your email account, in your hosting account, check the emails, reply from there, and it's just one more step that you can completely cut out and just add your domain email, your new domain email to your Gmail account. And Google has lots of great ways, great information on how to do that. So now we have your new domain, your agency domain, your email set up. You're on a roll. So the next step is that we want to set up a landing page for people to visit, and this is what is going to give you authority in your vertical. People love the simple landing pages. This is just an example. I have used this on any of my home service prospecting or partner prospecting. You can see that it's just one page. That's it. It has some information, has a little proof, like this is what your tracking or reporting might look like. We are getting calls in. Great. It's really funny when I do send out my prospecting emails. I have people visit my site, not many, probably like 2-3% of the emails that you send out, they're actually going to go visit your site, check you out, read your information. Make it very simple and very clear what you're doing. You do not need a 5-page website with tons of different information on it, and no, you don't need any of that. All you need is a very simple landing page. This converts. It's so funny. I will send out emails and people will come visit this website and they will resubmit themselves to be contacted. So it's so funny. Instead of just replying to the email that I send out, they go through this whole process of filling out my form, and then I get a lead notification from my landing page to contact them. It's really funny. I'm not sure why people do that, but it happens all the time. So they come here, they're going to select whatever vertical they're in, start campaign, I get a lead notification. I know that they're a very hot prospect because they're very interested and they went through the whole process to actually fill out a form again instead of replying to an email. So it's pretty funny. You can see that this is not the best landing page. It probably doesn't follow best practices of landing pages. This is an Instapage template, And so I just use the templates. Instapage is amazing. It has a WYSIWYG in it. It's very easy to use. You can set it up however you want. You can move the elements around very easily. So anyways, here's Instapage for anybody that's not familiar with that, and they have tons of different templates. I highly recommend them. I've also used Lead Pages. Lead Pages is great. They're not as flexible with their templates, and then also Unbounce is really good too. And if you're, when you get your landing page set up, if you need some inspiration, I always go to ThemeForest for some inspiration because there's some great designers on there, and you can just look at the landing pages that they have set up already. So and get some ideas from that. Let's see. Here's a good example. And it's very easy in Instapages to copy what you're seeing. So if you're not a designer by any means, you can see the layout of this and see how the designer set it up, get some ideas. So you're just not staring at a blank canvas. So I definitely go to ThemeForest to get some ideas about that and how to set up a page. I am definitely not a graphic designer or anything like that. I want to make it as simple as possible for you guys. So use Instapage, set up a one-page agency landing page, and boom, you're done. Okay. The other thing that I want to talk about is setting up an 800 number. So it's very important to set up an 800 number so that you look like an authority. So just go into your call tracking, get an 800 number, redirect it to your cell phone or whatever phone you're using, and also record those calls. It's really good training for you to go back and listen to those calls and see, what you say, how you sound, how you can tweak it, how the prospect reacted to what you were talking about. It's really good training, so I highly recommend it. And then also, after you set up, you have your domain, your professional agency email connected to your Gmail account, and your agency landing page set up. The last thing you need to do is set up your email signature. And so you can go into your Gmail account and just add a signature to your new agency domain email. A signature is really important if you think about it. Any real company that is reaching out to you is going to have a professional looking email signature. So this is an example. I know it's Notepad, I know it's kind of ugly, but once you put it in Gmail, it's going to look good. So always have your name. I give myself a position. I don't say I'm the owner of the company. If you say that you're the owner of the company, then that implies that your company is pretty small and you're probably a newbie. So I give myself a different position than owner, senior account manager, director of marketing, something sales manager, something like that. It gives you some credibility, makes you look like you're working with a bigger company, and it just, I don't know. You don't have to do this. This is what I do. This is my take on it. Just my thought process. If I had somebody emailing me saying they're the president of the company and they have time in a day to email me and do their own sales prospecting or their own prospecting process, I probably don't want to work with them because maybe they're just a little too small for my company that is bringing in, $1 or $2 million a year or more than that. So anyways, it's up to you. This is just my take on it. I also have a little slogan, pay-per-call, results-driven lead generation. Just think about like the emails that you receive from companies every day and the type of signatures that they have. I also have my office phone number in there. I don't put my cell phone number in there because it tells them where I'm located, by the type of phone number you have, and I also don't want that information out there. I also cannot record those calls as easily, so I want to be able to review all the incoming calls that I'm receiving and keep track of those more easily. So go to your CallFire account, your call tracking, whatever you're using, set up an 800 number for yourself. And then again, put your email in your signature just in case, I don't know why, but it's just people might need it. And then also your company name. Now it says my company name incorporated. Even if you're not incorporated, and Darren might have something to say about this, I don't know, but a lot of my prospecting business names are not real business names, and everything runs through my parent company, all the billing, everything. And after you talk to your prospect and you let them know, the type of name that is going to be showing on their credit card statements or debit card statements, they're okay with that. It's okay if it's different than what they see on their billing as long as you explain that to them. But This also helps establish you as an authority in their eyes. So all these little pieces come together and actually give you some credibility in that vertical and in their eyes, and you definitely gain trust from all these little pieces. So I hope that this has helped, and I hope that it's given you some homework for the holiday. And also, like, if you guys want me to review any landing pages or, have any questions, please hit me up in the Pp0L 1Rmy Facebook. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. So, all right. Thanks, soldiers. I look forward to speaking with you, and I hope that you join me in the next video. All right. Thank you. Bye.
PPLArmy.com.
Okay, so let's jump into finding a domain. So I use Bustaname to help me with my domain research because I am not very creative and it just does a lot of work for me. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Bustaname. Super simple to use. Type in any words here and it starts looking for available domains with those word combinations. So I always try to find a domain that is really relevant to the vertical that I am prospecting. So of course we have HVAC in there because we prospected a bunch of HVAC companies. So I went ahead and tried to find something with HVAC or home services and anything that kind of describes what I do. So you can get some random name, you can do a branded name if you want, but I like to keep it really simple and like very obvious to these prospects that I am with homeserviceleads.com and I am going to be contacting you and I'm talking to you about, sending your company leads. So anyway, it's super simple. You can buy it directly from here, and I think if you click one of these links, like, you get a discount at these places. So, all right. So get your domain set up, get some hosting, put it on HostGator, Bluehost, like any of the reliable cheap hosting accounts. They should have all the information available to you to help you set up your DNS, install WordPress, all that good stuff. So, okay, go get your domain. This is so important. You're also going to need to set up your email account in your new hosting account. So they also have directions on how to do that in your hosting account. And if you have any problems, HostGator, I like HostGator. They have great support. You can call them and ask them any questions that you might have. I also connect all of my emails, all of my agency emails to my Gmail account. So you can receive your business emails in your Gmail account and then also respond in your Gmail account. So it provides one central area to start to check your emails, to see the responses, and to reply to them. It just makes it easier. Otherwise, you're going to have to log into your hosting account, then your email account, in your hosting account, check the emails, reply from there, and it's just one more step that you can completely cut out and just add your domain email, your new domain email to your Gmail account. And Google has lots of great ways, great information on how to do that. So now we have your new domain, your agency domain, your email set up. You're on a roll. So the next step is that we want to set up a landing page for people to visit, and this is what is going to give you authority in your vertical. People love the simple landing pages. This is just an example. I have used this on any of my home service prospecting or partner prospecting. You can see that it's just one page. That's it. It has some information, has a little proof, like this is what your tracking or reporting might look like. We are getting calls in. Great. It's really funny when I do send out my prospecting emails. I have people visit my site, not many, probably like 2-3% of the emails that you send out, they're actually going to go visit your site, check you out, read your information. Make it very simple and very clear what you're doing. You do not need a 5-page website with tons of different information on it, and no, you don't need any of that. All you need is a very simple landing page This converts. It's so funny. I will send out emails and people will come visit this website and they will resubmit themselves to be contacted. So it's so funny. Instead of just replying to the email that I send out, they go through this whole process of filling out my form, and then I get a lead notification from my landing page to contact them. It's really funny. I'm not sure why people do that, but it happens all the time. So they come here, they're going to select whatever vertical they're in, start campaign, I get a lead notification. I know that they're a very hot prospect because they're very interested and they went through the whole process to actually fill out a form again instead of replying to an email. So it's pretty funny. You can see that this is not the best landing page. It probably doesn't follow best practices of landing pages. This is an Instapage template. And so I just use the templates. Instapage is amazing. It has a WYSIWYG in it. It's very easy to use. You can set it up however you want. You can move the elements around very easily. So anyways, here's Instapage for anybody that's not familiar with that. And they have tons of different templates. I highly recommend them. I've also used Lead Pages. Lead Pages is great. They're not as flexible with their templates. And then also Unbounce is really good too. And if you're, when you get your landing page set up, if you need some inspiration, I always go to ThemeForest for some inspiration because there's some great designers on there, and you can just look at the landing pages that they have set up already. So, and get some ideas from that. Let's see. Here's a good example. And it's very easy in Instapages to copy what you're seeing. So if you're not a designer by any means, you can see the layout of this and see how the designer set it up, get some ideas. So you're just not staring at a blank canvas. So I definitely go to ThemeForest to get some ideas about that and how to set up a page. I am definitely not a graphic designer or anything like that. I want to make it as simple as possible for you guys. So use Instapage, set up a one-page agency landing page, and boom, you're done. Okay. The other thing that I want to talk about is setting up an 800 number. So it's very important to set up an 800 number so that you look like an authority. So just go into your call tracking, get an 800 number, redirect it to your cell phone or whatever phone you're using, and also record those calls. It's really good training for you to go back and listen to those calls and see, what you say, how you sound, how you can tweak it, how the prospect reacted to what you were talking about. It's really good training, so I highly recommend it. And then also, after you set up, you have your domain, your professional agency email connected to your Gmail account, and your agency landing page set up. The last thing you need to do is set up your email signature. And so you can go into your Gmail account and just add a signature to your new agency domain email. A signature is really important if you think about it. Any real company that is reaching out to you is going to have a professional looking email signature. So this is an example. I know it's Notepad, I know it's kind of ugly, but once you put it in Gmail, it's going to look good. So always have your name. I give myself a position. I don't say I'm the owner of the company. If you say that you're the owner of the company, then that implies that your company is pretty small and you're probably a newbie. So I give myself a different position than owner, senior account manager, director of marketing, something sales manager, something like that. It gives you some credibility, makes you look like you're working with a bigger company, and it just, I don't know. You don't have to do this. This is what I do. This is my take on it. Just my thought process, if I had somebody emailing me saying they're the president of the company and they have time in the day to email me and do their own sales prospecting or their own prospecting process, I probably don't want to work with them because maybe they're just a little too small for my company that is bringing in, $1 or $2 million a year or more than that. So anyways, it's up to you. This is just my take on it. I also have a little slogan, pay per call, results driven lead generation. Just think about like the emails that you receive from companies every day and the type of signatures that they have. I also have my office phone number in there. I don't put my cell phone number in there because it tells them where I'm located, by the type of phone number you have, and I also don't want that information out there. I also cannot record those calls as easily, so I want to be able to review all the incoming calls that I'm receiving and keep track of those more easily. So go to your CallFire account, your call tracking, whatever you're using, set up an 800 number for yourself. And then again, put your email in your signature just in case, I don't know why, but it's just people might need it. And then also your company name. Now it says my company name incorporated. Even if you're not incorporated, and Darren might have something to say about this, I don't know, but a lot of my prospecting business names are not real business names, and everything runs through my parent company, all the billing, everything. And after you talk to your prospect and you let them know, the type of name that is going to be showing on their credit card statements or debit card statements, they're okay with that. It's okay if it's different than what they see on their billing, as long as you explain that to them. But this also helps establish you as an authority in their eyes. So all these little pieces come together and actually give you some credibility in that vertical and in their eyes, and you definitely gain trust from all these little pieces. So I hope that this has helped, and I hope that it's given you some homework for the holiday. And also, if you guys want me to review any landing pages or, have any questions, please hit me up in the Pp0Rmy Facebook. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. So, all right. Thanks, soldiers. I look forward to speaking with you, and I hope that you join me in the next video. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Pp0Rmy.com.
Hey guys, Stephanie Franklin here. Thank you so much for joining me for video 3 of the Partner Getting series. In this video, I'm going to be covering my email campaigns that I use when I start prospecting, when I need a new partner in a new city. So I'm going to walk you through the whole process that I do. I'm going to show you my emails that I use, and I'm also going to provide you the templates for those emails in the Pp0Rmy. So definitely I'm going to cover what email platform I use, how to get your list approved. So this can be really tricky for some people that are new to internet marketing, or there's a few tricks that you need to do to get a large list approved that is scraped emails. So I'm going to cover that and show you how to get any list approved, how you need to clean up your lists to make sure that it doesn't look like too spammy. But so I'll go over that. I'll also cover, setting up your email campaign and kind of how I space it out, the days that I send my emails on, what time, and then also what do those 3 emails look like, and why, and how I structure my emails, and kind of the why behind it, and why I came to that conclusion, how to structure them a certain way so they get opened and read, and lots of responses. So that's always good. I'm also going to cover the subject lines that I use, and there's a few things that maybe you're making these mistakes, maybe not, but I'm going to go over what I've learned from sending out thousands and thousands of emails for prospecting, and hopefully it can help you out and increase your open rate. And then also, of course, when do I send out my emails, go over my schedule, and then also my call follow-up schedule that I use, and then how do you respond to interested prospects. So once you send out your email blast, you're going to get tons of responses back, tons of emails back. You're going to get phone calls back, depending on how big your list was. So, and also you don't need a huge list to get some good responses and to get partners. So, all right, well, let's jump into it. Okay, so as you can see, I'm logged into my Aweber account. Now this is kind of a test account I set up. I'm not logged into my main account. But anyways, I use Aweber for all of my email marketing. I've used lots of other platforms, but it just gets increasingly harder and harder to import all of your contacts, especially if you're doing a large imports, and if you're doing, multiple imports every week or every 2 weeks. The email providers, they don't like to be spammed, or they don't like their, their name they don't like the spam complaints, they don't like that, so they're going to be a little bit protective of what you upload. Aweber is pretty lax about it, and I'm going to show you how to get around, even kind of their stringent rules of how you can upload or what you can upload. So, of course, you have to set up your list, and as soon as you get an Aweber account, it's going to walk you through all of this. I don't need to take the time to do that. It's pretty, self-explanatory, but so just go to manage list, set up a list, name it. This is my Boston HVAC list that I've already uploaded and imported successfully, but I'm going to walk you through how I did it. So we're going to click here, enter subscribers. You can also, upload a file. That's fine too. This is why it's so important that when you did your scraping or you scraped your emails in the last video, that you kept it clean, kept your list clean. So as I covered in the last video, separate out the role-based emails because those will not be accepted. Just because it's very easy to find these and it's a little spammy. You don't know if it's just going to a bucket email that no one's checking. So I copy paste them, and just so I can kind of review my work also, because like sometimes my VA will miss one, or I'll miss one, like a customer service at, and I just don't want them to think that I scrape these emails. I just want it, to go right the first time. So I like to go through, copy paste them in there, and check them out. So I'm gonna walk you through it. So we'll just upload these ones again. Click to input, just paste them in there. Next. Okay, of course, match the fields with the best description. And then, so how did these subscribers join your list? Okay, I always say they signed up on my website. It's easy, it's straightforward. They're going to trust you because, if it's your website. Then also this is where it comes into play where you needed to set up your site to prove that you're an authority in the industry. So enter your website, and I have mine right here that I shared with you guys. Okay, just going to copy paste it. Okay, and then are you bringing a subscriber over from another email provider? I always say yes, because if they're coming from another email provider, then they've already, for one, Aweber's winning your business, and that makes them excited. So, and then they've also been through another email provider's filter, and they've met this. They know that you've got this email legitimately, hopefully. I just choose constant contact. They're pretty stringent, and then just next. So this is just kind of a little trick that I use. It works every single time, unless you're uploading a bunch of role-based emails. Then you're going to have your account investigated. So don't do that. Hit next, and this is another little tricky one. No, you do not want to send a follow-up message once the import is approved. So this means that it's going to blast out any emails that you have scheduled to go out to this list. So no, we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that they get our very first email when we want them to receive it. And then next, and so you want your subscribers to opt in again? No, of course not. They didn't opt in the first time, so no. And notice how they switch the yes and the no around. They want you to make a mistake, so just pay attention to that. I've made a mistake before, so that was a little embarrassing. But then tag your subscribers. I always tag them, so it's easier to go through and filter, or if I want to set up some other kind of email campaign to these subscribers, it's easy to filter them by. So you can, and I have kind of a general, it needs to be HVAC. So I have a general one so I can filter all my HVAC leads, and then I do it also by location. So I can filter down to the actual city. And then finish import. I've already imported these subscribers. I'm not going to do it again, but I just wanted to walk you through that and show you kind of my process on that. So you at least get your list approved and you don't have any problems with that. Alright, so finish imports. It could take a couple hours for them to approve your list. This list that I had approved was 675 subscribers, so I think it took about a day for them to approve it. But you can see I had 675, and they also dedupe it, so any duplicate emails that you accidentally put in there or miss, no problem. You'll just get a little message saying we could not import these, they were duplicates. Which is fine, whatever. So you'll get a message saying your list was approved. You can now send messages to your list. And then just make sure, is it close to the number that you uploaded? How many were disapproved? So I always look at this number. It's pretty easy. Also, this is a really great time that, or a good screen, so that when they start replying to you, you take them off of this list, because as soon as someone calls you by phone or replies to you by email, you don't want to keep sending them your email series. So you're kind of harassing them. They already reach out to you, said they're interested or not interested. If someone unsubscribes or emails you, says don't contact me, make sure that you take their name off of the list. You don't want to keep harassing them. That's how you get complaints. So it's very easy. Say like Leo, and he was someone that replied to me. Search for that. We'll see. Well, oh, you have to select the field, of course. So I want to search in the name. The email contains Leo. Perfect. So it's very simple. And look at this. It didn't catch a duplicate because for some reason there was a B on the end of it. But anyways, just unsubscribe. It's very simple. And then that way he doesn't continue to receive your email series and kind of feel harassed if he already showed his interest. All right, so let's get into the messages.
Pp0L1Rmy.com.
All right, so let's get into the messages. So I send out 3 emails, and I do them one after another. So day 1, day 2, day 3, like boom, 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 one after another. Because you're trying to build momentum with this email series. You're trying to get them familiar with you. You're trying to, build some rapport, like let them know that you're going to keep bothering them unless they respond, which is okay. But I'm also going to provide, the templates to each of these emails, for the Pp0L1Rmy, so you guys can use it, you can tweak it, you can do whatever you want to with it. So the first one that's going to go out is the subject line. So I want to cover 2 things. So the subject line, and then also the first line in the email is very important, because that is the preview sentence that people are going to see in their email when they're viewing it to decide if they want to click on it or not. So of course, the subject line, please don't use, leads, PPL. They're kind of like danger or spam words to business owners. Like, it's very markety feeling. They're not going to open it. Like, it's not going to pique their interest. You want to sound like you're an actual customer that's interested in their service. And so, of course, they're going to click on it and be like, yes, I have a new job that just came in, or a potential customer, so I'm going to open it and read what they have to say. So definitely phrase your subject lines like you're an interested customer looking for their service. And then the second part is the preview line. So this is so important. They're going to read this. Like if you say, like most marketers or spammers, hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm with Home Service Leads Inc. If that's your first preview line, you're not going to get your email opened, like period. No one's going to click on that. No one wants to be sold. They don't want to be sold to. They don't want to see that in their email. So definitely I always have a question as my preview line sentence. And this is a great one. I was wondering if you can provide estimates to some of our new heating repair customers in Boston. Yeah, if I'm a heating repair or HVAC company and I see this email come in, I'm definitely going to click on it. Like, you could help me grow my business. You have customers that maybe I could service. There's so many questions going through my head. I'm definitely going to open it and read the entire thing. Just because, like, it could help my business. It's just piques their interest. That's the whole, you want them to take action, to do, click on it, read it, call you, respond to it. So those are the actions you're trying to get the person to take, or the business owner to take, or whoever opens this. So that's what we're trying to lead them down that path. So and then of course I do introduce myself and who I'm with, and just so it's it's very clear, like, okay, we do provide a service that brings new customers to your company. And it's, I don't know, I've tested a lot of emails. These 3 have worked the best for me. They're not too salesy. They're not too pushy or anything. and it's kind of conversational, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So we've been getting quite a few inquiries on our site, and our current partners in Massachusetts are not able to provide estimates to these new customers. And then, so there's two things. I said Massachusetts and not just Boston. A lot of these companies that we're emailing are going to have a very small service area, and that's what you're going to find with a lot of home service professionals and businesses. They have a 20-mile radius, 30-mile radius, sometimes 50. That's kind of big, but they're not directly in Boston, and so I don't want them to feel disqualified because I did say Boston in the very first sentence. I want them to know that if they're in Massachusetts, we can probably do business together. So you are going to get a lot of emails back saying, we don't service Boston, we don't service that area, that's out of our area, which is also an amazing opportunity also that you can, respond back to them in the email or on the phone and ask them if they would be interested in taking calls if you do start generating them in that area. And then that can start the conversation of bringing a new partner in on a new area. You can have partners that are waiting for you to get leads in their area, and you can work out like the details, set up the site, start driving leads, start driving traffic for their area, and then you already have a partner locked down. So you just have to do the fulfillment part of it. So this has worked very well for me. You can line partners up in a whole state. If you go and have your VA go scrape all the emails of the whole entire state, send out this blast at one time to all of them, even if they're not in the main city that you're targeting or have leads coming in for. And then you can line up, the smaller suburbs, the other smaller cities, but there's still people that need heating repair in other cities, so you can line up those partners across the whole state and just take over a whole state that way, and then all you need to worry about is the fulfillment. So the second thing was, would you be the right person to talk to about this? So this line is incredibly powerful. Would you be the right person to talk to about this? I include this in all of my emails until I get a response back telling me who is the right person to talk to about this. So it's amazing how many times this email will be forwarded, CC'd to the business owner or CC'd to the sales manager or whoever is supposed to be taking care of new customers or, providing the marketing or something like that. And they'll forward this email and CC the right person, say, hey, this is who you need to contact. A lot of times they'll even put like their cell phone number in there or their phone number to reach out to them. I've even had a few emails, come back and say, we're busy right now, but, contact Henry over in, the other north part of Boston or whatever. Tell them that I referred you. So you can even use their name and say, hey, so-and-so told me to give you a call. Maybe you need some more business. So this is the most powerful line that I've found, and you'll see that I use it in all of my emails. And of course, thanks, and I look forward to hearing from you. Don't be so stiff. No, you have to be professional, but show some personality. It's really important. And then definitely, of course, please have kind of a signature. I didn't really format this one. Sometimes I make it bold or a different color like blue or something pretty like that. So have your office phone number in there, have your position. Like I covered in video 2, don't put that you're the owner of the company and you're also doing the sales and marketing and everything, and it makes you look, like a small company, whatever. So just make up some kind of title, senior marketing account manager. Cool. People seem to like that. Whatever. Stephanie at homeserviceleads.net. I always include my email again, and then the website so they can visit the website, check it out if they want. And then I have a little slogan here. Why not? Results-driven customer generation. So I don't say results-driven lead generation. I try to stay away from using lead, pay-per-call, anything like that. Anything that Home Advisor is kind of known for, or that any of these home service guys have been burned in the past by Home Advisor. I try to keep all of my verbiage, very far away from anything that they've probably heard in the past that's kind of markety or that they might be scared of. But anyways, so the second email goes out the next day. And again, it's, I wanted to follow up with you about taking our extra HVAC estimate calls that we have coming into Boston. And it just kind of repeats, the first email. use a little bit of scarcity. We're looking for one more HVAC company to partner with to send these to customers to. So it's, creates a little bit of urgency. That's, Internet Marketing 101, whatever. It works. And then again, would you be the right person to talk to about this? And if not, can you please let me know who I should contact? So now I've bothered this person 2 days in a row, and I'm asking, can you refer me to the right person? You have to lead them into taking action, to actually doing, to do whatever you want them to do. So they could be thinking, no, I'm not the right person. But if you ask them, hey, could you just let me know who I should contact? Then hopefully they can reach out and contact or forward you to the right person. And then of course, have a great day. Talk to you soon. All my best. Make sure you have your, signature in there again. And hopefully by now you've gotten quite a few responses back from the emails, from the first 2 emails. But we're also going to do one more email on the 3rd day. And the 3rd email is full of questions. So I need to find the right person to talk to. Are you the right person? Who should I contact about this? This is a great opportunity. It's really just a bunch of questions to get them to respond to me. And this email's a little pushy, but it does get responses ranging from unsubscribe to, yes, please, this is who you need to contact, leave me alone. So it does get a reaction, it does get a response. And of course, always end your emails, thank you so much for your help. I look forward to hearing from you. Be gracious, be appreciative that they even took the time to read it, and they'll respond, they'll respond in a much better way than if you don't put, thank you and, thank you for your help. So definitely, are you the right person to send new heating repair customers to in Boston? This is the preview line of the email, and it needs to pique their interest. Again, like maybe they didn't open the first 2 emails, and this is the 3rd one, so they're like, well, maybe I am the right person. Or maybe that's out of my service area, but they're still going to respond. They're going to say, no, I'm not, this is not my area. If they respond to you in any way, usually means they're interested, and they just qualified themselves as a possible partner. So I always refer to the previous email. I just reached out to your company yesterday, because you're trying to create the momentum like I talked about. So I like to send out my emails on a Monday or Tuesday, and so then you have the rest of the week to gain momentum, and not, maybe you send out one email on, say if you started on Thursday or Friday, the weekend breaks it up, people go out, they have fun, they spend time with their families, they forget about work, they forget what they was interesting on Thursday or Friday, and then you have to start all over again on Monday with this whole process and gaining momentum. So you really have to hit them hard starting Monday, Tuesday. Be ready to dedicate that week to prospecting and to taking the time during the day to answer the phone calls that are coming in or responding to the emails that are coming in. So it's very important to build up that momentum. I also like Aweber because, you can do this with all email clients or email platforms. You can always send a test email first. Definitely send a test email. And make sure that the formatting is right. Catch any spelling errors. If you're not very good at spelling or catching those errors, have someone proofread your email for you. You don't want to look like a goober and not know how to spell something. So definitely have that checked. Then you can schedule a broadcast email. And this just, is a one-off. Schedule it for each day. I always schedule them for early in the morning. And that seems to be the best because it's like most business owners and people, the first thing they do is they wake up, they check their emails, like almost immediately. So I like to schedule it for 5 or 6 in the morning. And then that way when they wake up and they're having their coffee, they go through their emails, they check all their stuff, then they see your email, and then they usually respond to you either by a phone call or email right away if they're interested, or they wait until lunch, or if they have a meeting in the morning, they call you after that meeting. But that seems to be the best time for me to send out the emails. If you wait till in the afternoon or the evening, it's definitely like they'll open it, maybe they get distracted, there's as the day goes on, it gets busier and busier, and people get more distracted, and maybe they see it in the evening, and by the time in the morning they forget to call you or they forget to respond. So also be aware of the time differences. So I forget about this sometimes. If I'm emailing the East Coast, they're an hour ahead of me. I'm in Chicago. If I'm emailing the West Coast, it's 2 hours behind me. So make sure that you're awake and you're up and you're ready to talk on the phone. Usually, if you email it or you schedule this for 5 or 6 in the morning, make sure that you're up at 6 or 7, because they will absolutely start calling you at 6:37 in the morning. Happened many times to me, and I was emailing the East Coast and I forgot the time difference and thought I had plenty of time and was not really woken up to do a sales call at 7 in the morning. So make sure that you're up, you're ready, you're prepped, you're had your cup of coffee and you have your notes in front of you, and just wait for that phone to ring, because it will. But yeah, definitely those are my tips about sending out the emails, and I will absolutely include the templates for you guys to use, and you can manipulate them however you want. It's whatever fits your personality. As you can see, I try to include my personality in all of my emails, and it seems to get a much better response than just kind of a canned. Even if it's very professional, that's great, but canned email is not going to get a very good response. So, all right, and let's jump into the first. So I sent out the first email for Boston, and so the total sent was 675, and then I had 42 bounces. Bounces are going to happen. You can absolutely try to clean up the emails and make sure that they're valid. You can use emailhunter.co and run those emails through like an email validator. I don't do that. Aweber does not penalize you for bounces. Like they're going to clean it up for you. It's not, I don't know. I haven't been penalized for it. And a lot of these my VA collected from the websites, and then I also ran a scrape on all of Massachusetts. So the scrape, that's probably where the bounces came from, I'm sure. But still, it's not too many bounces from my VA's work and a scrape combined, so that's why I had 675. That's a ton of emails. You do not need to do this many. Once you get your system down, it's a lot easier to send out this many, blast out this many, and then manage all the prospects coming in. If you start out with this many in the beginning, you will be very overwhelmed. You will definitely be pushed out of your comfort zone, which is great. I'm not saying don't start with that many, but there's no reason to hold yourself back from taking action. All you need, I would say, at the max starting out is 50 emails. 50 emails, and you'll definitely get a partner out of 50 emails. Now I kind of gauge the number of emails I send out by how many partners I need, but I'm trying to cover all of Massachusetts. I'm trying to get service providers or HVAC service providers in that whole state, just because that's my process by now. If you just target Boston, that's great. You'll only need 50 emails. There's probably 50 HVAC guys, maybe a little more, but probably not that many more. But you can see the open rate was great. Like the unique opens was 248. And then, of course, people are going to open it more than one time. And so we can start seeing, so this was the first email blast. And you can start seeing like Leo, who he is a partner. He did end up becoming a partner. Opened it 18 times. And this also includes like anyone that forwarded it, opened it. And I'm not sure how their pixel or how their tracking works, if it's like a embedded link or whatever the pixel tracking is. I don't know how accurate it is, but it seems to be pretty accurate. Like, and you can go and watch this as soon as you do your blast and send it out. It's almost real time, so you can see who's opening them, and it updates very quickly. So that's always kind of fun too when you send out your first couple like prospecting emails, and you get to see who's opening them. Like, oh, they opened it 3 times. Oh my gosh, I bet I'm gonna get a phone call soon, or I bet they're gonna respond to me. And of course, like, it's always, you can almost predict who's going to call you by how many times they open it, or you can bet that Steve's gonna call you. He opened it 16 times, so It's a fun little game I like to play. It's just guess who's going to call me or who's going to actually respond to it. So you can export the data if you want, and then you can review your sent message and copy this message to another list. Say the next city you want to target is Atlanta or Phoenix. You can just copy this email, and you can do that over in the back of the messages as well, and just copy the email over to a new list very, very easily. Make sure that when you do that, you update the cities and the location modifiers in that email so that it makes sense. Because your list will let you know if you don't change that, and they will be sure to remind you that they are not in that city. So it's one way to get reaction to your emails is if you put the wrong city in there, they're definitely going to respond to you, which is so funny, just to correct you instead of if they're interested or not. So that's what I found. So let's dive into the actual emails that people responded with and sent. I also have a few more recorded phone calls that I will share with you guys about the incoming phone calls and how I handle them. I think I shared one with Darren to post in the Army. So, but there's a few more, and I'll share some the ones that went bad. Also, hopefully that will make you feel better about, I've been doing this for over a year now, and I still screw up on the phone all the time. And sometimes phone calls just don't go how you want them to go. So that's just how it works. And you just have to, after a while you get used to it, and you just get kind of, if you turn it into a game, then it's not so intimidating. So you can see that there's 65 people that responded to my email, and I'm filtering it, of course, by heating repair estimate. That was, the title of the email. So I'm going to filter it out, or filter in only the people that responded. So you can see there's lots of people responded. This ended up being a client, Hayden at Ken and Heating, and Luann. That was a great example. Also, a lot of them, like the unsubscribe, you're going to get that. Don't take it personal. Respond graciously. Oh, thank you for letting me know. I apologize for bothering you. I will take you off of our list immediately. You don't want to be spammed. I get it, but one unsubscribe email like this out of, 200 and however many people opened it, is not that bad. That's also why I kind of like my emails. They come off, you're a person, you're just trying to do your job, you're trying to find a partner, you're trying to help them. They realize that and understand that, and it's not going to offend them. That was a big hurdle for me in the beginning, was I was worried about bothering people and offending them, by spamming them, kind of. So definitely something you have to get over, but it's worth it. You are helping them, so you definitely need to get over that hurdle if you do have it. If not, awesome, you're way ahead of me. So anyways, so we did have a few responses. Some of these were not in the right area, of course, because their service areas are pretty small in Massachusetts and Boston. I do make sure that I have a response template, because as you start, you're going to see the same questions over and over again. And so as they start coming in, I always respond to them as fast as possible. I set everything aside for the whole entire 3 days and make sure that I respond to anybody that has a question or is interested or wants to get on the phone with me. You have to set that time aside. So take time off of work. It's really hard to do if you have a day job, and you can always do calls on your lunch break. You can always respond to emails, whenever you have time, but it can get a little bit overwhelming. So, if you have any vacation time you can take, I would absolutely recommend, at least for the very first email day, if you could take time off to do that. That would help you out so much, and you would get in the flow of it. You would feel more confident, more focused as you're answering those calls, the incoming calls and the incoming emails. I will also share my response templates. So this is really professional, but I always just have a notepad open And as the emails start coming in, I just copy paste it, copy paste. I read their questions to make sure that it's relevant. Some of them do have, very specific kind of customized questions that they will ask. So I do take the time, the couple minutes that's going to take to answer those questions and tailor my response to their actual question instead of just copy pasting and being very impersonal. But these 7 answers here, or these 7 bullet points here, really do answer pretty much all of the questions. You will get a lot of responses back if you're scraping, and even if your VA is out there collecting those emails, or you're collecting those emails, you're still going to get some responses back from companies that are not quite qualified. Like, I got a lot of commercial HVAC companies that replied saying, oh, we don't service residential, we only service commercial in this area. So this is how you can set yourself up for like major success. Always say, thank you for letting me know. If we do start getting commercial inquiries in Boston, would you be interested in working with those customers? That sentence, or those 2 sentences right there, you'll get a response back, and they will, of course, absolutely, they would want to work with you if you start getting customers in that area. And then and then after this starts the conversation with them, and then they're going to ask you more questions. How does it work? What's the catch? They always want to know what the catch is because they've been burned so many times. So you just have to be very, very transparent and very open with them. Yep. And I just have this notepad open as the emails come in. I read through the emails real quick. Copy paste. And I always enjoy your holidays. It was right before Thanksgiving. So just a nice little personal touch. Like, hey, I'm a real person. I hope you have a great holiday. People like that stuff a lot. So I will include this template as well as the other 3 with the 3 email templates that I send out. So this was a good example of some very interesting questions. I just wanted to give you guys an example of like how people could respond. And they're interested. They're definitely interested. And this, I sent it to, I guess, Luann was the email that I scraped. But she did CC Jake, who's the general manager. And she even let me know I'm his assistant. Please forward detailed information about the program to them, or to Jake and her. So it was great. I just responded to them. And you can see they have some customized information, or customized questions, and I took the time to specifically answer those individual questions right here. Okay, and then here's the bullet points. 1, I always make sure to just outline it like this. It helps so much. It answers all their questions. You'll see these over and over again. So 100% exclusive call referrals. You'll be the only HVAC plumbing partner in this area. Awesome. They love to hear that because if they work with Home Advisor, they know that they're competing with like 5 other companies. Excuse me. Never compete directly against any other companies. So kind of reiterating the first point. And then never pay for unqualified customers. So I just want to let them know, like, we really will send you qualified customers and qualified people. No deposit. You can charge a deposit if you want to. I have charged a deposit many times and it works great. It's fine. You just have to position yourself well for it. Since this is, I'm working with Darren on this, and this is kind of I'm just diving into this city and this vertical in the city, and I have no kind of authority preceding me. I'm not going to ask for a deposit. That's you really have to build up kind of a reputation, establish yourself to ask for a deposit. So, and it's great. I do recommend, if you can get a deposit, awesome. If not, just, be quick to hire, quick to fire. So if you get a partner that's being a little difficult, or like they are not taking care of the leads that you're sending them, you have to replace them very quickly. If they do give you a deposit, then they're a little more invested in it, and it can go both ways. It's up to you, however you feel comfortable, however you want to position yourself for that. No contract. I do not use a contract any longer. When I first started out, I did have like a 2-page contract, and slowed the process down so much. And it really, like, I'm not going to take them to court. I'm not going to sue them if they don't pay me for, $500 worth of leads or a week worth of leads, because if by that time, like, if we have not established a relationship and I have not vetted them well enough, then it's kind of on me. So I took the contract out of it just because it slowed down the process so much, and a lot of the prospects would go dark afterwards. Like, they'd be impossible to get a hold of. Like, even attorneys and surgeons are slow to get a contract back to you, and a lot of times they want their lawyer to look over it, even though it's a 2-page contract, which is it just takes so much time and headache, and it's just too much. So I just got rid of the contract. I only do a credit card authorization form, which does state, it's the same one Darren uses. It does state, we'll only bill you unapproved leads. And after you do bring on a new partner, you're going to be building that relationship. So there's a lot more trust involved. That's kind of my take on the contracts. And I mean, you can do whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I'm not going to be taking anyone to court to sue them over the leads. I'd rather just replace them and move on. And then any call that results in a scheduled appointment for repair is $55, and a scheduled estimate for an install is $80. So the prices can fluctuate depending on the city and depending on, if you see it's a larger company or smaller company. I like to work with the medium-sized to larger companies just because they have their sales process down, and they actually have a great answering system usually, or a scheduler or a receptionist that's great at scheduling appointments. So they actually know how to really take care of the leads and the incoming calls. So I bill my leads on a scheduled appointment, which I know that's you're leaving a lot of responsibility on them to take care of the leads and everything, and that's where it also comes into building the relationship for the partner or with the partner. And that's why you absolutely, if they can't take care of the leads, you have to replace that partner immediately. So that's just my take on it. It makes my partners happy. It makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm providing a good service. I know that you can also, there's other people in the group that base their leads on like a time limit. Like if it's a 2-minute call or over, then that's a qualified lead. It's totally up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. I don't know, this just, in my head, it makes more sense. Some calls are mismanaged or mishandled, but it happens. It's going to happen. But I'm not going to be, chasing my partner for a call that they mismanaged. And then if I let them keep mismanaging calls, that's on me as well. So I offer training for, their call answering, either if they have a service or they have a receptionist answering or a salesperson answering the phone. I do offer pointers. They do know that they're being recorded in all their calls, so that kind of cleans up their sales funnel a little bit, which is nice. But it is per scheduled appointment. Makes my partners happy, makes me happy, and it just, you're going to lose some, you're going to win some, but it does even out in the end. I don't know. That's what works for me. Anyways, and then if any of the calls that I send to them are out of their area or just really hard shopping calls, like shopping for prices or just kind of low quality, like you can, after you listen to a few of them, you understand which ones are the low quality ones. And to be honest, like, would you really feel like, would you feel okay charging for one of those bad calls? Like, it just does not sit well with me in any way. So, and then I make sure to tell them that we work with companies that have efficient incoming call answering system or sales team, because we don't want them to waste our leads. Like, we're investing money in them. We're doing our work on our end, so they need to hold up their end of the bargain. And their end of the relationship, and you're going to find some amazing people to work with, so it's not that hard. Always have your signature in the bottom, like we spoke about before, and then that pretty much covers the email prospecting. There's actually the follow-up calls. So if by the 3rd email that goes out, you have not got a contract back, you haven't got a partner booked yet, you need to start doing some follow-up calls, okay? So you can see Oops, sorry, I'm clicking around a little bit. This is what I want. Okay, so by the third email that goes out, if you haven't closed anybody, and you sent your emails out on Monday or Tuesday, so that gives you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You still have Thursday, Friday to start doing follow-up calls. And all you need to do is go through your list that you uploaded. Say Mr. Leo here, he opened it 18 times, but he didn't reach out with an email, he didn't call you. So guess what? We're going to give him a call on Thursday or Friday. So all you do is you just find, this is why it's important to keep this list very clean. We're going to find Leo here, find, there's his email, there's his phone number. And you're just going to go down your list like this and see if they responded to you or not, and just give them a nice follow-up call. You know, you might have to get past the gatekeeper. Maybe this is the office phone number, not their cell phone number. It's very easy to do. You just say, hey, I sent Leo an email. I just wanted to call and make sure that he got it, and I'm just following up with him. He had some questions about it. And they usually will put you through to their voicemail or just transfer you if they're in the office. It's best to do the follow-up calls in the morning before they go out into the field or out to the service areas and start doing their work. A lot of these business owners or decision makers are also out in the field with their employees. So I hope that this helps, and I hope this has been informational for you, and will remove any hesitation you have about taking action to start doing your prospecting. And I hope that you can join me for the next video, managing your prospecting machine. So in the next video, I'm going to go over how to manage the prospects that are coming into your funnel, how to not let any of them slip through the cracks, because that can happen a lot. So it was something that happened to me, and so I had to make this kind of system, put the system in place to make sure that I didn't lose contact with anybody that was interested, to make sure that I followed up with people, and then also just how to manage that even for future use. So, all right, thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you in the next video.